Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account, as people are too busy talking about Simon and Garfunkel at the moment.
It's the perfect song.
Let's not go that far. The Avs
We're not going to listen to anybody who thinks cake is the greatest. Shut the fuck up.
The Avs certainly didn't play anything close to a perfect song tonight. Let's face it, their third period was just brutal.
Yeah, their third period? Period 1, period 2.
Period 1 wasn't that bad. Period 1 was not that bad. I'm not saying it was good, but they didn't get cratered.
Oh, wow.
Really changed our expectations from a team that should
when
easily
a team is
make the
playing the way that they are,
postseason.
yeah, you got to adjust your expectations.
Don't get cratered by the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Hey, the bar had to be dropped.
Yeah, it's not. There is no bar anymore. Like, there's no bar.
Well, the bar's just not way up here. There's still a
Didn't
bar.
get cratered by the Columbus Blue Jackets in one period. Come on.
I hear you.
The first half of the second period was bad, too. They got a few lucky breaks.
The whole second period was bad, and then Berkey did something insane. And
I don't recall a good stretch of hockey in this game. Genuinely.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the Avs aren't playing well right now, so you can't expect them to come out and, like, beat the world down. But the fact that they can't even get to that fucking level of, like, competency, and it's maybe a little bit overboard, but, like, this game just reminded me of fucking Wednesday. It was just the same thing.
Neither of Colorado's goals are like,
they're both great. Those are both great goals.
One of them is 100% an individual effort by Burakovsky,
Yeah,
and the other
phenomenal.
one, they get helped out a whole bunch because Elvis Merzlikins is apparently bought stock in the fact that Nazem Kadri is shooting on him because he doesn't even move.
But you gotta like the
He's
things
just
that,
like, well, that's an empty net. It's gonna stay one.
you gotta
Like,
like
he doesn't move.
You gotta like the things that built up to that
I was
moment.
gonna say,
though.
Like, they're
yeah,
so
yeah.
moving the
fine,
puck
but
so
it's
well down there.
Great, fine, sure. But it's just like it. You're talking about one good passing sequence out of a 60-minute game.
Sure.
And like, there were other moments here, but really, if your best players are not your best players, as was the case again tonight, like Darcy Kemper's looking around like, what is this?
Let's start there. The entire top line, there was one breakaway for Mikko, which he fired right into a pad. And the rest of the night, that line was a ghost. The best line in hockey, supposedly, was a ghost.
We gotta stop calling them that, man.
They certainly weren't tonight.
They haven't been any
a
good
line
this
in
year.
hockey.
They
call
a
them?
line.
They are a line in hockey.
They're a
right now.
line, and until they get the mantle back, they're not the three-headed monster anymore. They're a line.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's the same problems. I think it wasn't even the top line, but they're guilty of this too. I think it was Burakovsky and Kadri in the second or third period.
Don't change so quickly.
Burakovsky and Kadri in the third period. Berkey walks to the middle. Instead of shooting, dishes it off. The Avs make another pass, and they end up taking this puck from the center of the ice to the corner. And the entire bar just goes, Again? They're killing their own offense.
Yeah.
On a regular basis.
Nathan MacKinnon is awful right now.
He was-
I mean, he's playing horrible.
His best shot of the night was
Horrible
a backhand flip from the point.
Yeah, I mean, he has an open wrist shot, and he's 6 feet away. He's got a shooting lane. He's got dead to rights. This is, it's there. It's 2-2. You're 4 minutes left in the third period or whatever it was. Like, it's there.
Yep.
That's the goal that he has been scoring the last couple of years. And he's sitting on one goal right now, and you're just like, look, you go back and through the game. It's not that he hasn't gotten chances. It's not that he hasn't gotten opportunities. He's just blowing them.
Yeah.
It's just, it's like watching third or fourth year Nathan MacKinnon all over again. You can't beat a goaltender. He's just blowing scoring chance after scoring chance after scoring chance. I got into a whole argument with Eddie before the start of the season about whether or not he should be considered a 40-goal scorer. And I was like, no, of course not. But this is absurd.
Yeah.
Right now, you're like, well, what? He's not beating any goaltender at all. His one goal was dope. It was great. It was that one timer.
It's now 1 in 10 games.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, that was a great memory. That one time that thing happened. And he's missed open nets. He's missed so many opportunities this year, and it looks like he's completely in his head. Because he misses another opportunity late in the game tonight, and he's looking around. And he knows.
Yep.
He knows it.
Yeah.
And it's he's making ill-advised passes. He's giving pucks away. He's throwing pucks. He started this habit a couple games ago where he started throwing blind passes into the middle of the ice in the defensive zone. And it's just like, dude, if you play like this, your next job is gonna be a pizza delivery guy. Like, quit auditioning for it.
And
it's absurd how poorly he's playing right now.
Here's where I'm struggling with it, because that line is supposed to be so good that if one of them has a down night, someone else can pick him up. But the same things are happening. Gabe Landeskog in his own zone taking breakouts up the boards tonight was a turnover machine.
Yep.
He could not get the puck out of his own zone.
Let me just give this away.
Yeah.
Let me chip this right into the guy's chest and then lose the battle when it drops back onto the ice. Over and over and over and over and over.
I felt like he's been invisible for the last few games. I mean, after he's gotten those he's gotten those 2 bad penalties, and it's like, what happened? What happened to him?
Nothing good.
He's not being effective at all.
Nothing
He's not
good.
doing that role on that top line right now.
This was a disaster of a week for them.
Yeah.
It really was.
Max passing, like you were saying, like it was a carbon copy pass in the first period there, right? Like the exact
On his
same
backhand,
decision making.
There's like,
It's not good.
no one would ever even think of trying to thread the needle because there is no hole. You could, even if you threaded the needle, it wouldn't make it across.
Yeah,
Like,
his best chance of getting that pass right now is like firing it into Mikko's chest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, well, that's pointless. But I would still take that over him turning the puck over and creating rushes for the other team.
Yeah, the book's out, but he should at least get, I don't know, something on net. Go to the net. I don't know what the answer is there.
I don't understand that comment that you just put up. I mean, you can love the Avs top 6, but Darren Helm was awful tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
he spent a lot of time in the box.
It wasn't good.
Takes multiple
Is it sarcastic?
penalties.
I'm thinking it must be sarcastic, right? Your name's Fire Bednar.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming
okay.
this.
I
is-
understand.
I'm assuming
I get
Zach,
it now.
I'm assuming Zach is getting to work early tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Helm was awful. Ranta made decisions that you just cannot make in an NHL hockey game tonight.
Dude.
I don't know what Jason Megna is. Jason Megna. We've had that conversation a million times.
You mean he's not an NHL player and he
Yeah.
just keeps getting rolled out there? And not that they have any solutions. It's
They got Alex Newhook.
It's not like any of these guys are rolling up here and doing anything.
They got Alex
So,
Newhook.
I mean,
We've
Sampo
talked
Ranta
about
outplayed
those.
Newhook early in the season. That's why he's
Yeah, and
he's
through
here.
10 games,
Yeah.
he's done nothing.
Yeah.
I think
Clock's
that
up.
the experiment's over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at some point, you just have to be like,
Well, no, but like my
let's
point.
give him 20 or 30 in the AHL, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It
And
clearly hasn't worked in the NHL. So
Dude, I don't know. There's just like, you look at this team and it's almost not even worth, because like it's so obvious that they're just not playing.
they're playing really poor hockey.
Like,
they're playing awful
so, like
defensively.
uncharacteristically poor. Even just on paper, just from like a skill standpoint, you can't find a single guy that is playing up to the level that they should be as an individual. Forget playing as
It's
a team,
like
forget
Logan
team
O'Connor.
defense,
Yeah.
forget passes,
Oh, that's-
forget.
It's like Logan O'Connor.
That first goal?
that first goal, he just completely
and-
loses his
right,
guy.
I was gonna
Just
say,
completely.
and it's just that's why you sit here and it's like you have to trust that eventually they get back on track. You know, someone flashed across the screen. You know, the Mikko quote after the game. He said, "Oh, it didn't feel like we had our legs." It's like, duh. and they really just look like they are fighting themselves. They're not earning any bounces.
mean-
They're not outworking anybody.
They're not. They're not.
it's
They're
just-
not playing. There's
They're not
nothing is
making.
good.
It's not even that they're like playing bad. They're making plays that are like, you're an NHL player. You know not to make that, and they just look like they're forcing stuff. They're trying to make plays where plays aren't there. The shots they do take are, again, you know, we were laughing. I think it was in the second period. They had 3 fake one-timers, and the one that they take is Mikko from below the circle. It's like,
well, and
it's just none of it makes any sense. And
all of this garbage, and there's 10 minutes left in the third period, and they still have a lead. And they find a way to lose.
see, that's what I was saying the other night, dude. Like, this team, they all look afraid to make a mistake. They get a lead, and it's, okay, well, we can't blow this because we have to hold on to it. And you end up fucking back on your heels for an entire game, chasing pucks around, getting bailed out by your goalie, and then a fluky one gets past him. But again, there's effort issues. You pointed out. How does someone get behind you again and win that loose puck? How does that happen again?
I want to talk about this more because I want to really go in depth on it. But we are brought to you all by Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. I got myself an Avalanche right here. Blais with the Broncos country over there. So go on and get some.
He looks around. He's like,
I just took it off screen when I was trying to show it. Maybe this way. There you go.
Check out your local liquor store. You can find it online near you at the Breck Beer Locator. And, of course, down at the DNVR bar, 8 different kinds on tap. So come hit us up over here. It was a party tonight. The Avs game didn't turn out very well, but a lot of good people down at the bar.
It was a cool day, to go from the Colorado State one right into the Nuggets one, right into the Avs and Buffs. So it was a cool day at the bar.
Bar was fun, at the very least, even if the Avs game wasn't. So we got that going for us. Also brought to you by Green Mountain Dental Group. Head on over to them just 15 minutes from downtown in Lakewood. When you schedule a cleaning, x-ray, and exam with them, you get a free Sonicare toothbrush. So they'll make it easier to take care of your teeth both at home and at the dentist. They got you covered. Check them out. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. So, about the third period. The Avs made a conscious strategic decision to play hockey where they don't possess the puck very much, right?
This was almost a carbon copy of Game 3 against Vegas.
Yeah, it was
where
Turtle
they don't
City.
look good. They're up by a goal. They're trying to protect it.
Yeah.
They're trying to play safe. It's just not who they are. It's not their identity. It's not how they play. They're hemorrhaging chances. Darcy Kemper's bailing them out left and right. A lot of weird puck bounces are going Columbus's way, but Columbus is winning every battle.
Yeah.
They're winning every foot race. They're earning a goofy bounce here.
I was
going
to say
they're earning
the
all
Blue
of
Jackets
that.
earned every bounce that they got tonight.
And they just This looks like an emotionally broken team. They don't look like they're confident that they're going to win. They don't look like they're confident that they're going to make the play. They don't look like they're confident that their goalie's going to make a play. They don't look like they're confident that any guy that they pass the puck to is going to do anything with it. They look shell-shocked.
And they need to make a decision one of two ways. One, if they look at the tape of that third period and they want to continue to deploy a strategy of defensive protect the lead play, it has to change drastically.
There's nothing to look at on the tape there. Like, honestly, man, like there's nothing for them to.
There's plenty to look at.
There's nothing to look at there because
if you're going to keep doing that strategy, you queue up every single
but that's
play
what I'm saying. That's not a
someone
strategy.
got a guy behind.
Find me any successful team that has ever played with that strategy.
I mean, the 1-3-1 was successful for a decade, but
that's completely different. That's completely different. And like, dude, the Avs have been the way that they have been for the last few years, because the last couple of years at least, because they have not played like that. They've stayed
agree,
pursuing
and that's
the puck.
one of the choices.
And to me, there's just something off with this group. Now, I don't think they're trying to play that way, honestly. And like, you give Columbus a little bit of credit because they were pursuing the hell out of pucks. The Avs had no time, no space. So you have to, like we always talk about, you have to remember there's another team out there. But like, if the Avs are actually going to try to play that way, thank God that pick's top 10 protected, because no team that's ever been successful can play just defend the lead.
Maybe, but if they want to continue to play that way in the future, you look at this game and you say, I don't think it's RIP. I think it's, you cannot let these dudes in behind you on every single puck. You have to keep them in front of you if you're going to play that way. And if the team says, we can't do that, we're not capable, then to your other side, you can't play that way. You just cannot. You have to be aggressive and continue to play the way that has made this team successful.
I just don't even think they're built to do that.
I was going to say, because you're talking about playing a trap style. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, so what you're watching tonight, that wasn't trap. That wasn't anything. So like, but I don't know what there is for them to watch out of that.
I think, again, if they're going to decide to play that way, I think everyone, certainly myself, would much rather see them be the aggressive team we all know they can be and bury teams. But
but that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're making a conscious effort to play that way. I just think that they don't have whatever it is right now. What it honestly looks like to me, they're missing a ton of intensity. Look at those guys' faces after that goal goes in. There's nobody slamming sticks. There's nobody slamming doors. Even Nathan MacKinnon, Blais, you made the comment like, well, I'd love to see him on the bench right now. Like, what is he feeling? They don't have that.
Do you think some of MacKinnon's stuff is like the shit that happened over the offseason is messing with him a little bit mentally, right? Like, because
Could be.
I mean, he's been that explosive personality, and sometimes you need that from a star player, right? Like, he's not wearing the C, he can explode, and other players on the team need to take note of that as well. Like, he understands that he's frustrated, but how do you get this team motivated to get going in the right direction now? Because, frankly, this was embarrassing tonight. Columbus Blue Jackets, they could have had 6 goals before the third period even started.
Yeah.
If they had shooters on their team that could hit the net, there was a lot of time for them to actually score.
I don't think there's anything that can be said. You need one of your leaders on the team, one of your leaders that's in the locker room, not some guy down lineup, not Logan O'Connor skating, harder than anyone else. You need Nathan MacKinnon. You need Mikko Rantanen, Gabe Landeskog. When Cale McCart's back, you need one of them to just say, I'm taking over this game and you're all going to follow me. Because right now you can say all you want. Nobody's out there doing what they're supposed to except for Darcy Kemper tonight, who was lights out. He was fantastic.
Yep.
And until someone's going to do that and just say, I am going to change the way that we are playing. Bo Byron tried to do it a couple nights ago. You can't have a 19-year-old kid being the pulse of a team that's supposed to be a Stanley Cup contender. Yeah. You need one of your big guys to set the tone, set the example, because there's nothing that's going to be said in the locker room before a game that's going to suddenly change the way they play. They have 4 days now to set 4 days, 5 days, 5 days.
Yeah, Thursday's
to
their next
sit
game.
on this and let them think about it and understand that you did this twice. You got lucky. You got bailed out one night by getting a point. You did this 2 nights in a row over the course of a week. You have 5 days to now sit there and with that bad taste in your mouth. Oh, the song. I was like, what did you guys just make eye contact and decide about? But and someone has to actually physically change the way that they're playing and say, you're all going to follow me.
Look, I do think some of that needs to happen, but I also think the Avs need to legitimately sit down and ask themselves why this happened in both games against Columbus. You have a terrible game on Wednesday, things happen, you go, okay, you played like shit, you move on, you keep going. You do it again in the second game against the same team, a team that you expect yourselves to beat. Why is the effort level not there? Is it just you guys aren't trying? Because that's unacceptable. What is the disconnect? What has to be done to get them to where they need to be?
And see, that's a question that only they can answer.
Exactly right.
What is going on? What has changed between I guess the calendar's all messed up. What was it June of last year and now or last season?
And look, and hero efforts, a guy leading the way will help. It will win you hockey games. But if you want to be a real Stanley Cup contender, your team needs to figure its shit out. The whole team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that's been your identity. You need someone to set the tone on how you're going to play. Because right now, to the point I think we've all made tonight, their top guys are some of their most apathetic players right now.
Definitely. It starts with the top. I don't think there's any argument there. But they're worried about you, AJ. They're worried about you over there. He's got nothing to say.
Well, what do you say?
I think they're broken.
Yeah.
Right.
I really don't think this is complicated. I think that emotionally,
I agree, fully.
I think that emotionally that they're fractured and they don't believe in themselves. And I think that it's a game. Winning hockey games is all about winning battles. It's all about you win a foot race here and a board battle here, and then you make a play here, and then you get a step on a guy there, and you make a read there, and it's all about just winning battles. And we don't think when you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe that you're any good, and you don't think that good things are going to happen to you, good things don't.
Yep.
This is not complicated. This is watching them right now is like watching me when I was like 26. I didn't know what I was doing. I drifted through life. I didn't know who I was. Had all the talent in the world, at least so I'd been told my whole life. And I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know how to harness any of it. I didn't have any confidence in myself. I didn't have any self-belief. There was no like why would things turn around? I wasn't doing anything to put myself in a position to turn anything around. Why are things going to turn around for the Colorado Avalanche until they start doing better things? Until they get back to being in the habit of making good choices. You have to have good habits to get good results. And right now their habits are bad. Their heads are hanging. You don't have to read a book on body language to know that their body language sucks. Emotionally, it is a fractured team. This isn't an X's and O's problem. This isn't the X's and O's aren't any good. And they've got a coaching staff that they're very clearly increasingly tuning out. Your power play problems have now dragged on to 10 games.
Yep.
Granted, some of this we keep saying, like, hey, they've had their top unit. They still don't have their top unit. Cale Makar's still not part of that unit. But it doesn't matter. Like, you're supposed to be above these things.
At the end of the night, this is a 2-1 game, and they're over 4 on the power play. Well, if they score one, it's over.
And like the penalty kill, the penalty kill should have given up multiple goals. They gave up like 10 shots on goal. They're not stopping anything.
Yep.
They're not preventing anything. They're surviving. You don't thrive while you're trying to survive. And I'm not trying to be clever and rhyme.
No,
it's just true.
Yeah.
It's just true. You're in survival mode, and they look like they've got PTSD. They look shell shocked. They look like they are so fractured from what happened to them against Vegas last year that they can't have a bad thing happen to them because they don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
And
they don't look like they have any emotional maturity. They look completely broken to me, and the coaching staff doesn't know how to fix it, and the players don't know how to fix it, and I don't know how you handle that. You just have to buck up, and you have to decide that you're going to change your tune.
Well, and
you're the hero of your own story, kind of thing.
As you've
got to believe that you're going to be there at the end of the day. That something is going to go your way. That you're going to create something better for yourself. You get into good habits, you're going to get good results. Right now, it's bad habits, bad results, and it's that simple.
And as you said earlier in the show, where their first period really wasn't that good, the numbers look pretty good. The Avs outshot them 12-7 in the period, but I think a lot of people came away from that first period saying it really felt like the Avs just survived that period. It didn't feel like the Avs dominated that period in any sense of the imagination. Even if the numbers looked good, it's like they're trying to step through raindrops. Because every single time Columbus gets the puck or an opportunity comes along, it feels like the Avs are gripping their stick so hard they're going to tear them in half.
Yeah, you can see their white knuckles through the gloves.
Yeah.
And that's why they're making some of these plays where you see guys pulling up. They're trying, MacKinnon trying to force those passes through the seam because they don't feel like they can put the puck in. So they're trying to find the perfect play. And they found it on the first Burakovsky goal. Like, that's what they're trying to do every time. They're trying to find the wide open net.
Second goal is just Burakovsky outworking the whole team.
Yeah. Which one of those gets results in more goals every game?
Work.
You love when you can make that pretty passing play and everybody gets to stroke each other off in the and you're the handshake line. Oh yeah, fist bumps, boys. Oh, that was great hockey. Oh yeah, it's great. It's great when you can draw it up and it looks like that. It's not how you're winning games. You're winning games by winning battles.
Yep, and that's why they're not getting any bounces right now either.
They're losing every battle, and it starts with internally. I don't even care about the X's and O's of the game right now.
Sure,
because emotionally they're fractured.
All right. Since we've kind of stepped into this room, let's talk about a positive. 2 goals, Burakovsky back in the game tonight, and he was one of the guys before he got injured that it was like, look, you need more from this guy. They got more from him. Where's everybody else? Is Burakovsky a guy they can follow?
No, and that's what I'm saying. Him tonight, that's exactly what you need from a second line winger who can come in and contribute, and obviously don't need 2 goals.
That's more than what you're expecting.
Right.
From
yeah, you don't need 2 goals from every night, but that is the type of dude that you want to see contributing more, because when your top guys are going, those are the types of goals that put the game out of reach, right? Like we were sitting here saying, AJ was saying watching the game, he said, man, it'd be really nice for a Tyson Jost moment right now where it's just that depth guy puts the game out of reach because your top guys have carried you. And that's that. And again, I'm not even necessarily saying that Nathan MacKinnon needs to go out and have a hat trick, but the goal that he set up for Eric Johnson against Minnesota is the exact type of thing I'm talking about. that's the style of play he needs to be coming with every single night, pursuing pucks. For years, the last couple of years, there's been conversation about him and McDavid, and I've always said McDavid's got immensely more skill than anybody that's ever owned a hockey stick. But Nathan MacKinnon, where he keeps himself in that conversation, at least to some level, is the fact that he's got the power element. He can get into the corner, dig pucks out, and just will his way to the front of the net. He's not doing it.
Yeah.
And until he or Landeskog or someone want to step up and do that,
It has to be him.
MacKinnon.
It can't be Landy. It can't be Rantanen. It can't be any of them. But he's like...
See, I think it could be Landy.
They've always had this like yin and yang, where Landy does a lot of heavy lifting. He does a lot of stuff, right? But Nathan MacKinnon has to lead.
He's their heartbeat.
He has to. He's the engine of everything that they do.
Yep.
It all centers around that guy. He's got to be an all-world player, not a pretty good player, not. Especially with the depth issues that they have this year, he has to be all world. And right now,
which he can be.
I'm talking about the emotional issues and all this, but like, it's exactly what I talked about in the Vegas series. Your best players have to be your best players, and when they're not, you're gonna lose games. There's a reason those guys make the money that they do. There's a reason that they play the minutes that they do. There's a reason that they're in the lineup and that they get the matchups and they're on your top power play. There's a reason for all of that, and it's time to see it. Like, you look at MacKinnon, who's found his way to points, and you're kind of like, woohoo, because you look at it, and it's a lot of empty calories right now. There's not a lot of him, changing a game. You go and you look at a lot of the points, like that one goal that he scored was a game-changing play.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff, though, it hasn't been. And it's just, for me, it starts with him. He has to be better. He can't be a guy that scores once every 3 weeks.
Well, and you see the look on his face when he has that one in the slot that gets blocked there near the end of the game, and you can just see it on his face. It was like, yep, of course that got blocked into the netting. And I'm not in the NHL. I don't know how you break out of that. I don't know what he's got to do mentally, but
there's only so much that we can say about how they fix their problem.
Right.
At a certain point, they just got to figure it out.
Right?
It is beyond. It's beyond the execution part of it, and like you said, the X's and O's. That stuff, honestly, like if they were playing hard, skating hard, and they were at this record, it's like, yeah, that sucks, but that luck will flip or whatever. The issue right now is that they're sitting at 4-5-1,
Yep.
and they don't
It would feel
really even look competitive.
It would feel a lot better if teams were beating them, but the majority of their losses, it feels like they've beaten themselves.
Yeah.
Right. Which almost does, like, deep down, you're like, well, they'll get out of it. But if this goes on too much longer,
Jared Bednar's out of a job.
Yeah, this is.
I'm sorry that's the.
It is.
That's the change
that's the
that
next
you make.
step.
You can say.
You can't go much longer. You can't go another 4-5-1 in the next 10 games. You go 4-5-1 in the next 10 games, he has to be fired.
He's been fine.
And I don't care how it happens. I don't care what it looks like. That's you have to make a change somewhere, and you can't trade all of them.
The team is too good to be 4-5-1.
You don't continue to go down this road. Like,
you're not necessarily saying this is a Jared Bednar problem.
No,
but like,
I don't think that it is.
It's
but
the sending the message.
Right.
There's only so many levers to pull when you're trying to fix some things.
Yep.
And I talk every summer, going into every season. I say there's one really good team every year that inexplicably just can't figure it out. That can't, everything goes wrong for them, whether it be injuries, whether it be a key guy here, key guy there, not living up to their potential, having a poor season, whatever. Through 10 games right now, you're looking at Colorado going, it's them.
And
I mean, you look at like what Vegas has done with all the injuries and all the everything that they're doing, and they're getting outplayed, they're getting waxed every night, they're getting
but they
crushed
find ways to win.
But they find ways. They come back. They play with a certain moxie There's a confidence there that they're never out of a game. The Avs are leading games, and they play
finding
with
ways
no
to lose.
confidence.
Well,
They're finding ways to lose them.
Yep.
They play with no confidence, and I just there's only so many levers to pull. You're not going to fire off 4 or 5 trades and try and shake things up. It doesn't. That stuff just isn't available in season. You got Elliot Friedman says it all the time. Other general managers are throwing you boat anchors.
Yeah.
They're not trying to bail you out of anything.
Yep.
They're trying to take advantage of your problems.
Yeah.
You're not going to go out in that market and find an answer that's going to fix this. They've got to figure it out internal. Like, the trade they need to make is Nathan MacKinnon from Nathan MacKinnon 2 years ago. Not even the one from last year. Give me the one from 2 years ago. That's the one that they need. That's the first trade that has to happen. If that guy doesn't show up, then your coaching staff is in the crosshairs next.
It's got to be because right now what the product is on the ice, like you've seen that they've had success.
Right.
Like you can't mess with it. Like there's a window here. And like that's what they're going to blame the coach first off is like you've got the keys to the Ferrari and you're not driving it the right way.
And the thing is, like,
it's like driving a Ferrari and getting 18th place. It's not acceptable.
Well, the thing is, if the Avs go 7-3-1 in their next, or 7-3 even in their next 10, you're going, all right, that's fine, whatever.
Yeah,
Right. I was going to say
But
that is
winning fixes
there you go.
That is the other thing that, like, as down as even I am right now on the way that they're playing, the way that they're preparing, you are 100% right. If they take these 5 days off and whatever that, Michael Jordan's special stuff from from Space Jam, like, if they get a hold of that and they rattle off 7-3-0, 8-1-1 or something like that, and it's like, well, they got over
Maybe
that.
they need to take a spiritual journey.
Even if they go 6-4, you're like, all right, you're gaining ground.
Right.
Like you're gaining ground on what you were doing. Like
You can't be a sub 500 hockey team anymore.
you just
This is the end of the clock. You have to start being a real hockey team.
The schedule this month is too soft.
Yep.
In terms of travel and in terms of who they play and how often they play, you can't just give. And it started 2 games against Columbus in a week. You got 1 point out of 4 against the Blue Jackets. All right,
brutal.
Like, respect to Columbus, they earned all 4 of those points.
Well, I think
They were the better team in both games. They earned those points.
Yeah.
And
I don't know about the better team, but they out hustled the Avs. Like the Avs got exposed. Like you were saying, right? Winning battles, they were soft in the corners. They weren't getting to the pucks. They were getting beat to the pucks.
They were just a step behind on every race.
In every zone. It's brutal.
Yep.
When you've
hockey
built
that
your
way.
whole identity around speed and you lose every race.
Right.
Like it's one thing if you get bullied again, if a team punches you in the mouth, and you've been so intent all year on not getting bullied and being tougher.
And you've not.
That
you've completely
totally
failed
lost
to do
your
that.
way.
Yeah.
You've totally lost who you are and what you do well. There's no identity. There's no confidence. There's no belief in self. I don't know, man. They need an exorcism. They need something.
I don't know. And again, just with the players on this roster, you have faith that they're gonna shake out of it. They're gonna get there, this, that, and the other. But you are, and it sounds so silly in an 82-game season at Game 10 to be saying they're running out of time.
It gets too early in the NHL.
Well, I was gonna say every year
it just does.
It used to be teams at the at New Year's. Then it was teams at Christmas. Then it's done, and now it's teams at American Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then depending on who you ask, there are a lot of people that say, that first week in November, you've really got to have kind of, your teams start to shake out. And I mentioned it in the pregame, the Avs are sitting at 9 points right now. You start looking up at the top of the league, they're double-digit points behind some of those teams. And again, all of those teams are going to go through a stretch like the Avs just had. Most of them.
Yeah.
All of them are going to go through
I'm comfortable saying every team goes through a 4-5-1.
Right. So you're not dead in the water, but you need to take these 5 days, keep it away from the rink. I don't know what you got to do. do something and get back on pace, and you're fine,
When
and
you-
all is forgiven.
When you open the season like this, it's
There you
now
go.
it's no longer okay if it happens later in the season.
Right.
It's now you have to go.
Now yours is out of the way. That was your one.
Your
Everybody gets
cushion
one.
is gone.
You put it as out of the way, but a lot of people are going to put it as you cannot do it again.
Oh well, no, but I'm saying like that's how you have to look at it. Like, cool, you had your one bad stretch. Cool, we're fine with it.
but that's it.
Can't
That's
happen
the
again.
end.
You got
Full
one.
stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You got one bad stretch that you can have when you're a true contending team, and it's done. It's over.
When's the best time to have a bad stretch?
Not in the playoffs, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But is there something like, is now the time to have it, or is
I
it
don't think
December?
I don't
or-
think there's ever a good time.
Well, I know
but-
there's never a good time, but
the-
it's going to happen. So what?
Your bad stretch is defined by how you respond to it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I was just about to
That's
say,
it.
if you let
That's
this
it.
set the tone for your season, then, whatever. But if you...
Then it's
if
not
you,
a bad stretch anymore. It's a bad team.
Right. But, like, if you can
Exactly.
spin
That's
this...
exactly how it is. If you respond
can-
to a bad stretch by staying bad, you're bad.
Yep. But if you could spin this into overcoming adversity and digging yourself out and turn this into a moment where you can learn
tell 'em.
dating all the way back to the Vegas series. Okay, now you're showing that you're learning how to dig yourself out of these stretches. Right now, the only bit of validity I give to any of these people that just trash Jared Bednar is they haven't shown that they are able to dig themselves out of these real bad stretches.
Jared Bednar, as an X's and O's coach, doesn't have a problem. If this continues, does Jared Bednar have a problem as an emotional leader? Maybe.
See, to me, what's funny is I actually feel like part of what was always so highly touted about him is he knows how to connect with the players. He knows
and
how
he
to get the
obviously
most
did.
out of the players, right?
He's gotten the most out of these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Colorado's best, the young guys, like the Rantanen, they never played for another coach, really.
Right. Well, and-
9 games under Patrick Waugh doesn't count. When you were the fourth line center and you had Borna Rendulic on your line and shit,
And I
But
can
it's
honestly-
like he's gotten the best results out of all these guys.
Right, and-
Nathan MacKinnon, 5 years in, randomly turns into a superstar in Jared Bednar's second year.
we're kind of even Jared Bednar's first year.
You're straight up lying if you think that Jared Bednar had nothing to do with it.
And even his second year, you're coming off a 48-point season. You're trading one of the top players in your team. They had every reason to pack that one in and have it be another lottery season for them.
They were expecting it.
And he got them to where they are. So, that's why I see some stuff, talking about Jared Bednar, and obviously there's some level of truth to some of it, because like you said, he hasn't been able to dig him out of the second round. But even as we talked about a couple days ago, that second round stuff is a little overblown when you really step back and look at those second round exits.
Yeah, I mean, when you're honest about how that
Right.
sausage got made.
When you take the emotions out of it.
Well, when you stop being the guy who's like, well, the bottom line is the only thing in the world.
Right. So it's tough when you step back and say, is getting rid of Jared Bednar maybe the answer to get this team going? I just don't know, because I think he's been a good emotional leader. I think he's connected with players well. I think he helped them battle through unbelievable, literal historic adversity after that first year. And now suddenly they're stunted. This is an opportunity for him to say, here's another thing I can do.
And that's where these next 10 games matter. If
100%.
they figure it out, Bednar's job is safe as hell.
I like Bednar as a coach. I mean, look, he's won
think
at
he's
every
great, dude. I
He's
think
won
he's
at every
phenomenal.
level.
This is not his last NHL job.
No, I was going to say,
If he gets fired, he's probably
he's going to be a Panther head coach.
I was gonna say he's a Chicago Blackhawk the next day.
Seriously,
there's a fight for him right there.
Like there's
Yeah.
it will not be long.
No, and the people that are just
But there are times where you just need that change.
Yeah, absolutely.
And where it's like, look, it's not that you're not a coach, it's that you're not the coach for us anymore.
And it's happened
You
in
need-
Avs history a few times.
Yeah, I mean Yeah. Yeah, I mean there have been some
All right, we can continue this.
just don't
but,
replace him with Tony Granato, man.
First of all, if you're looking for
God.
MJ's special stuff for your ball sack, and maybe your bush needs an exorcism,
Jesus.
whatever you need, Manscaped has you covered below the belt. They have their new body wash, shampoo, and conditioner as well.
You can use that on
Bush
your
needs
head.
an exorcism.
They got you covered
Jesus
both below
Christ.
and above the belt. Like I said, they got shampoo, they
Not
got
about
breath mints.
trimming the bushes at that point, man. They're removing evil spirits from your junk.
Look, man.
Manscaped is a better deal than I
The
realized.
power of Christ compels you. Okay? Manscaped's got you covered. Use code DNVR when you go buy their products and get 20% off. The Perfect Package 4.0 also comes with free shipping. Apparently, the lawnmower doubles as a cross. So if you're getting
if
an
you get
extra
two lawnmowers,
yeah.
Are you looking at that box score?
No, I was looking at Kraken.
Yeah, well,
Yotes.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
Seattle's up 2-1 over the Coyotes. All 3 goals came in the first minute and 33 seconds.
Right now, there's 4 shots on goal for the Kraken and 2 for the Yotes.
And 3 goals went in, baby.
But
So it can be worse.
93 seconds in, it was 2-1. That's professional hockey.
Be sure to hit up
to a game.
Manscaped. Also hit up DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 rated sportsbook app out there. Unfortunately, the Avs ruined our super slate, so that didn't work out.
Yeah, AJ was off to a great start.
Yeah, it was
Nugget.
looking good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what happened in Pittsburgh?
I don't know how that one ended, but
Let's see.
AJ likely to go 10 for 12 tonight, which is pretty solid.
That's
but
damn good.
the Avs let down the bets tonight, unfortunately. Didn't get it through, but you can go on DraftKings
Nope,
right
the Wild
now.
won. I would have had
They
that
came
right.
No
back.
way.
They came back.
Yep.
Woo.
So far, the only game that I've gotten incorrect is the Avalanche game.
Wow.
Otherwise, I had every other
Did
game
you have
right.
the Leafs?
AJ was-
Did you have the Leafs over Boston?
I did.
AJ was setting up for a great little
Yeah.
cash out
He
there.
was about to hit a good one if the Avs won, but couldn't get there. Look, you can bet on whatever you want on DraftKings. Use code DNVR when you sign up to get amazing odds boosts. Right now, you bet $5 on any NFL game, and you pick the correct team to win, you get $200 in free bets. So jump on that.
Son of a bitch.
Get that one going.
I can't believe Wild came back.
Even if you put in a couple bucks, like I said, I put in $1 on the slate today, and if you hit that once, you get $500 for the rest of the year to play with. So it's more than that. I think it was like $1,200 for me, but tons of money, tons of fun. Hit up DraftKings. Go over there and use that DNVR code. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right, we have like 80 super chats. Let's get to those.
Jesus.
Thank you for the super chat, Maggie. There were a lot of turnovers. You are correct. Next. Blake, thank you for the super chat, says there are so many issues with execution and roster decisions, but the biggest red flag is that they're not trying. I do think effort would solve a lot of their problems. I don't know what else to tell you on that one.
Like I said, they got exposed a little bit in this series.
They're just
Let's move on.
Yep. Next. Free my boy Newhook. They can't last much longer, right? It's got to happen soon.
I think there should be a swap coming, right?
They have 5 days off. Is now a good time to make the switch? If nothing else, send Ranta down there just to play a game.
Absolutely, yeah.
See, I don't have an issue with the sending Ranta down, but like I really don't like. For me, with where this team's at right now,
Oh, yeah, that'll fix it.
right,
It won't.
right. That's what I'm saying.
Of course
like,
it won't, but right now, like, you'll take what you can get in your bottom 6 if Newhook's an upgrade.
sure.
Look, until Nathan MacKinnon gets min-max, the rest of it doesn't matter.
All right.
I agree
Fully
with you,
agree.
Rudo.
Fully agree with AJ.
I want to see some new hook.
All right. Let's go.
I'm
Yeah,
all for
sure.
it. Not opposed.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's
I know
roll.
it's not going to fix it, but I want to see him up in the net.
You never know, man. Maybe that confidence is back, and he's the bolt of lightning. He walks in, and he's like, "How am I the most confident guy in this room? Not named Bowen Byram." So maybe it helps. I don't know.
Something to light a fire under somebody's ass. I don't know. JT says, is it chemistry? Do they miss PEB? Well, it's not PEB.
Logan
but-
O'Connor says no. We don't miss Pierre Belmar.
Yeah, I don't think they miss Belmar much.
Is there some lack of chemistry? Maybe, but I think that boils down to the confidence as much as anything.
And I think the part of the chemistry part of it can definitely be
Yeah.
that they've played like 17 different forwards.
Yeah,
in
sure.
Yeah, there's
10
a
games.
lot of
there's
things
been
that
a
are
lot
true
of-
right now.
A
Yeah.
lot of moving parts. Every game, you're having major lineup changes. And it's hard to... Even a guy like Logan O'Connor hasn't settled into a role because it's changed constantly.
And I think that's more of an argument for the bottom 6, right? But you look at Nathan MacKinnon here, and you're saying, I don't care who you're playing with. You're supposed to be good enough to make it work with
yeah,
anyone.
like Nathan MacKinnon's role hasn't changed.
Right.
He goes out there and it's like, dude, you need to be top dog.
Roll Logan O'Connor with Mikko Rantanen and Nathan MacKinnon.
I'm good on that. I'll take a pass on that, but
Sure.
Get some effort going.
At this point,
Get
I
some legs.
don't really. I mean, whatever. Well, it did until Nathan MacKinnon gets going. I don't think it matters. Whatever you want to do.
next.
Skating around in. No, this
No,
is.
we're-
Yeah.
Tell me where the leadership group is. Landy is skating around into the other team, and Mac gives up on everything as soon as it gets slightly hard, I assume you mean. I mean, we've said they have to be better. I don't know.
Yeah. We're also wondering, where's the leadership group? Where's
Right, yeah. This honestly, this is the
Yeah.
problem. We could have just posted this super chat for however long we've been doing this.
Blown it up, covered the whole screen,
Yeah, and then
just
we could have
left.
just
All right,
pieced out. Like,
let's go
honestly,
drink.
that's the
I have a
issue.
question. Is it only the head coach that can call a timeout in a game, or can the captain call a timeout?
I genuinely don't know the answer
Yeah,
to that.
me either.
I'm assuming it's only the head coach, but I don't
No,
know.
a captain could call a timeout because if they call it on the ice.
I feel like if a player skated up to a ref and called a timeout, they'd probably go to confirm it at the
Yeah.
bench. Would be my guess.
I'm assuming only a head coach, or I would say a coach can do
Hey,
Are
it.
you just saying in the
Coach and-
NHL? Because like in
Yeah, I was
college
gonna say,
hockey,
yeah,
right? Like they'll
yeah.
skate out like to get the maximum amount of rest time,
Right.
And then the whoever's
College
taking the
hockey.
face off will be like,
Never
"Time
heard
out."
of her.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said college hockey. I've never heard of her.
Well, that's 90% of the Avs prospect pool now. So.
That's why none of them turn into NHLers.
Oh yeah. I think there's a person that played some college hockey that's a pretty good Avs player.
Where?
Well, he's injured right
Yeah,
now.
that's what I thought. I didn't seem to do shit tonight.
How many college guys do they have? EJ, Logan O'Connor,
Jack
Kale.
Johnson.
Jack Johnson, Kale, not in, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more that I just don't know.
Ranto.
Yeah.
Fine, yeah,
Grant
fair.
for Minnesota, yeah.
One last super chat. I think this one is just the money. Thank you very much, Craig. Much appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Wish
Awesome.
wish these shows were more fun. I mean,
Yeah, we want
I
to have
don't-
fun shows.
Yeah,
we
I
do.
don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do next week, where we don't have a
Yeah,
show for
5
4
days until the next Avs game.
Yeah, just gonna sit around.
It's going to be some interesting shows for sure.
Well, maybe when they get back from Finland, everything will be better.
Hey, I was going to say, they
It's
went
like one team went and the other one went to Columbus.
They went 0-1-1 in Sweden a couple years ago, and then they came back and the gear
Right.
changed.
So we're just going to pretend they were in Finland. Got it.
Yeah.
Against the
Whew,
Sens that
that
year,
was
yeah.
close. I was getting worried there for a minute till I remembered.
Unfire everybody.
Yep,
It's fine.
yep, yep,
We're
yep,
good.
yep.
Untrade all the
Yep.
guys. They're coming back from Finland. It'll be fine.
Yep.
So unlike Wednesday, the one thing the Avs did get, and our king of the game, is Darcy Kemper. Darcy Kemper kept the Avs in this game for way longer than they deserved to be in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was great.
20,
Like I said, it could have been 6-2.
38 saves, 927 save percentage. The dude made multiple huge odd man rush, dangerous chance saves to keep this game 2-1. And the Avs in front of him just let him down. Like, straight up. I have no qualms with any of the goals Kemper gave up tonight. But,
I do.
okay.
That second one's bullshit. Sam Girard's got to play that better, but Kemper, what the fuck, dude?
That one, I need to see the replay. It looked like it was fluttering, but it really looked like it
Was that the one from the side of the
Yeah.
goal?
that one looked like it really caught him off guard. But at that size,
I don't.
All the great saves, and then that's the shit that beats. Like in the third one, you're just like, look, come on.
He never saw it.
No goalie stops that.
right.
If a goaltender stops that, it's because they got lucky and it hit them.
But
Yeah.
Andre Vasilevsky's
That's-
chest protector would stop that.
even the second one, it's like, sure, maybe he could have played it better. But when the team in front of him gives up a high-quality chance for the 8th time in the last 5 minutes,
Yeah, I mean, but
you're
that's
going to
still
get one that goes in. Like,
I started that by saying Girard needs to play that
I
better.
know, I hear you.
And
but-
live, who did I yell at when it happened? It was Sam
Yeah.
Girard.
Yeah.
That was my frustration
Yeah.
because I saw it coming. He got beat. He jumped to the inside of that guy when they were at the blue line because he wanted to try and cut off a pass from the inside, and it put him at total disadvantage to lose a foot race on the outside which he does because as great a skater as G is, he's just not that fast.
He's off the blocks, too, because he's flat-footed at the blue line.
Well, and he's turning around and spinning.
Yeah.
So, is line dancing taking place behind me?
Someone in the bar's having some fun.
It's party night.
Okay.
It looks like seated line dancing. I'm seeing a lot of arm movement, but everybody's...
Line dancing wasn't white enough.
I was going to This bar's full of mayonnaise.
I just heard a yee-haw.
Yeah, this feels very Texas
This
right
is
now.
Sneaking out
AJ's
the, I'm sneaking out
vibes
the
right
back.
now.
Yeah, I'm starting to be like, I gotta go.
See you guys.
The bar's so
You
good.
guys keep being mad. I'm gonna go line dance for a while.
All right, so, look. Is the sky falling? No. Are things bad? Yes.
What's the difference?
Sky falling, there's no coming back
Yeah,
from.
it's over.
What are you talking about? You just lift it up, man.
All right. Just push it back
Put
up
that
there.
shit back up there.
Put it on the shelf again.
How do you think the sun rises every morning? Some super motivated asshole gets up and posts on TikTok about him lifting it up.
Wow.
Is that a TikTok? Does someone like time
Not that I
lapse?
know of. I'm just assuming.
Time lapse their hand for
I'm-
perspective.
I'm just assuming.
You're a rise and grinder, AJ?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me at 6 a.m. I'm definitely awake.
I feel like
day.
sometimes you are, but like going
other
the
way
opposite
around.
direction. Yeah,
Dude, that's how it happens.
you are awake,
It
but you're on the
is.
tail end of being awake.
This is correct.
Sleep and grind.
My God.
Confirmed.
I'll be up tomorrow at
Line dancing and then
6:15.
Bloodhound Gang. We got to get out of here. I got to go join this party.
I mean, on that note, look, a lot of this game is copy and paste of Wednesday, right? A lot of the things we said in Wednesday's game apply.
This is a lot worse than Wednesday. They played 35 good minutes and had a 2-0 lead in that game. There were reasons for feeling good on Wednesday. I think they played like shit tonight. I think this was every bad,
Sure,
every
it was an
bad habit,
extension of
every
the
bad
bad,
everything. Except Darcy Kemper was dope until he wasn't. The back broke.
Kemper was dope. Burakovsky popped off, and no one else existed.
Yep. Even LOC made the big mistake.
Yep. Even
Can't
even the guy who works his
brutal
ass off.
Be excited about that anymore.
Got caught puck
I thought
watching.
Taves looked all right for it
Yeah.
being his first game back.
That's not how you spell wasted.
He was
but
fine.
That's fine.
He was fine.
Right, fine,
Yeah.
fine.
Would
Taves,
have been dope had he actually scored on that short
Yeah,
side.
kind of needed to finish that.
I
but-
mean, would have been dope had Nathan MacKinnon not missed 4 golden scoring opportunities, but I don't need to keep hammering this on.
Yep.
So let me. I'm gonna ask all you guys. Do you think this gets fixed? Do you think this gets turned around and they end up having the season maybe not finishing at the top of the division stuff, but that kind of everyone
Yeah.
expected, or do you think that this is gonna be something they battle all year?
No, I think this team is fine. If they go 4-5-1, I will put it this way: I don't think this team ends up somewhere in the middle. I think they either figure it out and they're right back to the top of the league, or they don't figure it out and it goes to shit really fast.
I think this is good for the Avs right now. Some adversity. Learn what not to do, right? Learn that you can't take nights off when you're playing hockey in the NHL.
Found the
And-
optimist.
Huh?
Said we found the optimist.
What do you
I'm an
think?
optimist. Yeah, and I think that they're going to squeak in, probably
5, 6.
4, 5, 6 somewhere in there. It'll be good for them.
AJ.
I think they're broken.
But that's
Can they fix it?
Yeah, right now.
You don't think they fix it?
No,
Nope.
no.
All right.
I think they're a middle of the road hockey team until Nathan MacKinnon shows up and until Cale Makar and Nathan MacKinnon until their best players remind everybody that they're elite and not just for a night. They don't go anywhere.
And you don't think that they do that this year?
Nope.
Interesting.
I think I'm out, man. I mean I think I'm out on them as a serious contender.
That's a bit far.
I think that they're probably still a playoff team, but I think this is the red flaggiest of red flags that could possibly exist. Is that you can't get over your own problems. You can't get through your own internal struggle. It's the hardest challenge in all of life to do.
See, and
I don't-
Absolutely, but I think it's
and
still
I
too
don't-
early to count them out of this race.
I think that there have been red flags, small red flags, in each of the last couple of years that have me feeling like this because now those small red flags
Or big blinking lights.
Yeah,
Well,
or
it's-
they grew into really, really big problems, and they never really got fixed. And there's not really any help on the way. There's not really an answer. There's not really a thing that you can point to right now. Long term, like over the next several years, I'm not concerned about it. But for right now, once the snowball gets rolling of a season, it is incredibly difficult to turn it around. Now you're 10 games in. Like it gets late really early in the NHL. And I just don't think I'm not.
See, I feel like those.
I don't feel good about this.
See, I feel like
I'm trying not to be a hostage of the moment. I've always been very level-headed, but I'm telling you, I think that they have a really big problem on their hands.
Well, see, and I think a lot of those, like, those small red flags you talked about in the past, because again, they've had stretches like this in the past where we've actually had these same conversations. What are they doing? The effort's not quite there. Nathan MacKinnon isn't playing. I think these next 10 games are what dictates how the rest of the season goes. Literally, this entire season sits in the next 10 games. Because, Blais, I agree with you. I think it's still a little too early to say they can't get out of it. But I think they have to do it now. If they're going to figure this out, it's Thursday against Vancouver.
It's very, very possible that by game 15, all four of us are sitting here feeling exactly like AJ does right now, I think.
I mean, if they go wrong and they win the next 5 games, like,
Then
I'm an
Then
idiot.
it's the other way.
Yeah, right. And that's where I'm at with it. I think they either do that or they collapse. I don't think they'll go 6-4.
Where I do
kinda-
agree with you is if I think this is a moment for them that could possibly turn into exactly what AJ's talking about. Whoa. We've got to step back and re-look at this. We thought we were right there and we need to make adjustments. Or I think this can go the exact opposite way of we are going to force ourselves out of this and finally learn how to get over this, because I think that's kind of what you're referring to with those smaller red flags over the last couple of years.
I don't remember when I put my phone back in my pocket. I just went to pick it up and see what time it was, and it was in my pocket. I'm like, I don't remember this happening, but okay.
This is either where you move beyond those red flags coming up every year, and it's kind of the Avs 2001 team second round LA Kings moment. Like, you either do it and you finally get over it, or you just become the team that goes through these bad stretches that has plagued them in the playoffs last year and now early in the season this year. I think part of the reason this feels worse is because this is all we have to go on for this year. When they've gone through these stretches in the past, you've had moments where, wow, they've been really good, they've been elite, they came out of the gates hot. This is the first time we've seen them do this coming out of the gates this
Lethargic.
apathetic. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think that your logic is that crazy. I just think I think these next 10
I don't think it's logic, man. Anytime that I'm
That's just a feel.
anytime that I make any kind of an argument, I fucking hammer away at it because it's logic. It's almost impossible to argue with it. But this isn't a logical thing. This is a fatalist thing. I think that
They feel,
I think that there's something seriously wrong because they don't look good. They don't look competitive. They don't look a shade like they have. They've had moments, but they've gotten obliterated in the process that they've been so good at.
Yeah.
They've gotten obliterated multiple times. It wasn't like the Caps game was like this one-off where you're like, wow, that was terrible. But it feels like we're several.
it was supposed to be.
I feel like we're several embarrassing losses into the season now, where, you lose to Vegas on home ice, a team that you absolutely, in that circumstance, your first game against those guys, since what they did to you in the postseason, you should be going in a compromised version of them. You should be going out and laying the wood, and they got beat. They got beat in front of their own crowd. They got smoked by Washington. They got beat by Florida. They got the Tampa Bay game looks like two really, really badly struggling teams that kind of just hit each other with pool noodles for 3 hours. Like you're 2 embarrassing losses to Columbus in now. You know, you've got that 3-day stretch where you beat St. Louis, you beat Minnesota. Two teams who are off to great starts this year and playing great hockey, and you earned both of those victories, and they were both totally legit, where you felt like things were normal. Outside of that 3-day stretch, and I guess maybe opening night when they waxed a bad Chicago team.
Yeah, everyone's
Like, right, but I feel that's it. I don't know where anybody feels truly good or confident about any of this outside of a 72-hour window where life felt normal.
Now,
the rest of this feels like it feels like you're in a hockey pandemic.
Here's my argument against that. With tonight's game, yes, the Avs played like garbage. Yes, it needs to be better. They played like garbage and had a lead with 10 minutes left in the game. So they're playing that badly, and it's not like they're getting blown the fuck out.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and they're not going to get Columbus every
team,
night either.
I hear you. I do. But I'm saying that I don't think they're as
outside of
far
the
away
Washington
from
game.
getting there. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Washington game was bad.
Yeah, outside of that, I agree with you.
They've been in and around games and able to win them. Yes, Nathan MacKinnon's got to figure it out. Yes, the whole team has to wake up a little bit, but it doesn't feel like it's so far away that it's unattainable to me yet.
I agree.
5 games from now, it may feel a whole lot more unattainable, but we're not there yet. So,
I agree.
all right. On that note, we're going to get out of here. Thank you, everyone, for watching, listening, however you consume the pod. If you're on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe, both the video and the channel. We're live 5 days a week, even next week when there's one Avs game on Thursday. We'll be live Monday through Wednesday. We might take one day off because I think they play that weekend, too. But
They play Saturday.
so
next
maybe
Saturday, too.
we might have to take one day off.
Man,
but
it's gonna be Lollipop Park Monday through Wednesday.
oh, jeez. Anyway.
it's gonna
Might be eBay shopping.
When are we doing a live show from Lollipop? Oh, it's not even there.
Yeah, Lollipop Park's gone, bro.
Thank you for the super chat. Could it be they're out there not having fun?
Yes.
Losing ain't fun, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Have you ever enjoyed losing? Because
at
if
practice-
you did, you're a loser.
That's what they need to do this week. At practice, they need to have some fun, and they need to just cool these 10 games. They're
Yo,
done. They're over.
I
They're
saw Mighty
behind.
Ducks bring a beach ball to practice.
Yeah. Hopefully Iceland doesn't
I was
show
gonna
up.
say, just lock Iceland out of the building.
Don't let Wolf, the dentist Stanton, show up and
I need Jared Bednar to play 3-bar against Rod the Bod. That's what I need in my life.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway,
all of this sounds great. All of this sounds better than going and sitting at practice on Monday and watching them do the exact same thing with a coach that doesn't show any emotion ever. If there was ever a time for a guy to blow up on a team, if there was ever a guy to use the public, to use a press conference, the media to blow up on a team, it's time for us to find out what Jared Bednar's made of.
yeah.
all right.
That's a great point. Great
If
point.
we
to sign off
haven't
on.
gotten a copy strike yet, we're definitely going to get one now. So thank you, everyone. We love
Great.
you. We will talk to you all on Monday.